This video is part of the course that is Microservices with Spring Boot and Spring Cloud. Link for the course is given in the description. Hello and welcome back. Let's have an overview of Spring Cloud projects that are covered in this course. So the first is Spring Cloud Open Fain. So what happens? Our microservices can communicate with each other with different methods like using the HTTP protocol. Say for example, our student microservice is calling the REST APIs of address microservice or any other microservice, be it examination, result microservice. Another way is using the queue or exchange mechanism like Apache ActiveMQ or RabbitMQ. But generally, microservices can talk with each other in HTTP protocol using the REST APIs. So we need an easy way to integrate this so that our microservices can communicate with each other and we have easy integration. So there comes the Spring Cloud Open Fain. The next is Spring Cloud Netflix Eureka. As I said that we can have thousands of microservices, right? And if our microservices are communicating with each other and if we have change in URL for any of the microservices, then it will be a big problem for us and we need to change that URL in all the microservices. So don't worry, here comes the Eureka server, which is service discovery and registry. So what happens? Each of our microservice will register itself with the Eureka and it will be having the unique ID or name. So what happens? Our microservice will communicate with another microservice using the service name. It will not use the URL of the another microservice. So it is very easy. Say for example, you are migrating from Amazon Cloud to Azure. Now you are not dependent on the URL because you have Eureka server. So what happens? Your microservices will use the service name and with that it will communicate with other microservices and it is not dependent on the URL of microservices. Just imagine if microservice is using the URL of another microservice and you have change in URL, say you are migrating from Amazon Cloud to Azure, then it will be a big problem for you and it's a big task for you. The next is Spring Cloud Load Balancer. Say our student microservice is calling address microservice. Now we can have multiple instances for our microservice, right? Say for example, we have two instances for our address microservice. So we need some kind of load balancing between those instances. Whatever requests are coming, right? We need to have some kind of load balancing mechanism. So here our student microservice is calling the address microservice. So here student microservice is client. So Spring Cloud Load Balancer is providing a way to have client-side load balancing. The next is Spring Cloud API Gateway. API Gateway is the entry point for our each of the microservices. Whatever request coming to each of the microservices will first come to API Gateway so that we can perform some common things like authentication. If you want to put some request headers, response headers or logging, whatever you want to do, whatever requests are coming to your microservices will first come to your API Gateway. Here you can perform some common operations. The next is fault tolerance. Say your one microservice is down. Now it should not have impact on other microservices, right? So there comes the fault tolerance. In microservices, tracing is very important. Say for example, one request is coming to your student service. Now student service internally calls the address service. Address service calls to examination service and examination service calls to result service. So like this, you can have many calls between your microservices. So what happens if anything goes wrong and you want to trace it down, then it will be a problem. So don't worry, here comes the sleuth. So using the sleuth, you can trace the request, where it is going and how your microservices are communicating. You are getting the complete flow. Zipkin is the UI tool to see this complete flow, that from where to where your request is going. You can see that, okay, from student microservice to address microservice and from there it is going to examination and so on. So basically you can trace it down the requests that are coming to your microservices. Now you have some common set of properties for each of your microservices. Say for example database properties, right? Database username, password, URL, database name or schema and other things. So you have this set of properties for each of the environment, dev, integration, prod and so on. And hundreds of microservices that you have will use these properties. Now, say for example, you have change in some credentials. So what you need to do is that you need to go in your each of the microservice, basically your application.properties file, and you need to change in each of those files. So that's a hectic task, right? So there comes the configuration server. We can store these common properties at some place. You can have Git repo as well, whatever you prefer. From there, each of your microservice will read those properties. So what happens in the future, if you have a change in property, you just need to change in your Git repo, say for example, and all your microservice will use that updated property. Just update at the one place and all your microservices will get the updated property value. So this is the uses of configuration server. So this is an overview of Spring Cloud projects that are covered in this course. If you like the video, then please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, like the video, do comment in the comment section and share with your friends. Do you want to learn microservices with Spring Cloud? If yes, then I am having complete course on it. In this course, first you will learn what is microservice and what is monolithic application, and after that you will learn difference between these two. In this course, you will learn OpenFin REST client for the communication between your microservices. You will also learn Spring Cloud Netflix Eureka for the service discovery and registry. In this course, you will learn client-side load balancing with Spring Cloud Load Balancer. This course also covers Spring Cloud API Gateway for microservices. You will learn fault tolerance and circuit breaker with Resilience 4J. In microservices, tracing down the request is very important. So in this course, you will learn distributed tracing with Sleuth and Zipkin. This course covers Spring Cloud Config Server to have your common set of properties at one place. So what are you waiting for? Link for the course is given in the description. Just click on that link and start building microservices with Spring Boot and Spring Cloud. So that's all for now. We'll see you in the another video. Till then, happy learning and happy coding.